Before they learned to read, the Lahu people learned to sing. In the mountains of southwest China, long before written records arrived, songs became history, law, and memory. Every path taken, every ancestor remembered, was carried not on paper but in melody. And if you visit a Lahu village at dawn, you'll notice something. Singing isn't performed like a show. It happens inside daily life, on the road, near the fire, in the fields. The songs can sound simple, even casual, but the meaning is heavy. A single melody can hold a family's past, a community's rules, and the story of how a people survived. Today, these songs still echo through the hills, telling stories older than borders, and reminding the world that a culture does not need words to endure. Lahu people live mainly in the mountainous areas of southwest China, especially Yunnan, close to forests and steep valleys. Historically, many Lahu communities relied on mountain farming and seasonal work. The landscape shaped everything: how people traveled, how they built relationships, and how they kept knowledge alive. And here's the key. The Lahu traditionally did not rely on a written script to carry their history. So instead of books, they developed something else, a living system of oral tradition. The songs are not random, they are structured. They repeat patterns so children can remember. They use metaphors that link rules to nature: rivers, trees, fire, and paths. That's why elders often say, "If you can walk, you can sing," because singing is not separate from education, it is education. For the Lahu, songs are more than art, they are memory systems. A migration song teaches where the ancestors traveled, not with exact dates, but with landmarks, warnings, and values. Which rivers were safe, which mountains were harsh, and how people stayed together. A moral song teaches how to treat others, respect elders, keep promises, share food in difficult seasons. A ritual song marks the boundary between the living world and the spiritual world, reminding people that life is connected to something bigger than one person. Without books, songs became archives. Without documents, melody became truth. And for centuries, this system held the community together even as the outside world changed. But oral tradition has a risk. If the singers disappear, the archive disappears too. In recent decades, many Lahu villages face the same pressure as other mountain communities. Young people left for school and work. Daily life changed. Fewer children sat close enough to elders to absorb songs naturally. Some songs were only remembered by a small number of older singers, and when they stopped singing, entire chapters of memory became fragile. This is why cultural revival for the Lahu is not just performing tradition. It's rebuilding a transmission chain, making sure songs move from one generation to the next, the way they were always meant to. And that brings us to one person, a real voice in the middle of this change. Her name is Li. She is Lahu, born in a mountain village in Yunnan. When she was young, her grandmother sang while doing everything: cooking, walking, sorting crops. Li didn't study the songs. She absorbed them the way children absorb language. Later, Li left for the town to study and work. She learned modern music basics, recording, rhythm, and how performances are organized. But when she returned home during a holiday, something felt different. She realized that some of the elders who used to sing daily were getting older, and fewer young people could follow the full songs. So Li started with a simple plan. She asked elders to sing the long songs again, the ones people no longer sang every day. She recorded them carefully, not as content, but as memory. She wrote down the context, when the song is sung, what each repeated line teaches, and which parts children often forget. Then she began teaching children in small groups, after school, in courtyards, sometimes just 10 minutes a day. Over time, Li organized a village singing circle. Elders became the teachers again. Children learned the call and response patterns, and the songs returned to daily life. Not perfect, not staged, but alive. Sometimes they were invited to join local cultural festivals. Nali insisted on one rule: the performance must remain respectful to the community, not a costume show. If they sang on stage, they also sang at home. And that's the difference between preservation and revival. Revival returns a tradition to where it belongs, inside the community. What Nali is doing is not just music, it is cultural infrastructure. When a community's history is stored in voices, the loss of singing is not only an artistic loss, it is an educational loss, a social loss, even a moral loss. Songs teach how to live together, when to share, how to respect, how to remember. And when the songs return, something else returns too: confidence. People stop seeing themselves as a small group that must modernize to survive, and start seeing themselves as a community with value. Value that begins inside, not outside. Sometimes this cultural strength also creates opportunity. A respectful festival can support village income. A workshop can bring visitors. But the most important impact is quieter. Young people feel less pressure to cut ties with home because home is no longer silent. The Lahu people remind us that history does not always live in books. Sometimes it lives in voices, passed from breath to breath, from mountain to mountain, from past to present. As long as the songs are sung, the people remain. And as long as people like Na Li keep listening, recording, and teaching, the songs won't become a museum piece. They will stay what they have always been: a living way to remember, to belong, and to move forward.